starting over at 40, like that midlife pivot, it's a lot. And I can't say that I would tell anybody that I'd meet, like, yeah, you should do it this way. No, there's probably a lot smarter ways to do it. But would I do it any differently than I did? I mean, maybe there's a couple minor things, but I believe that everything you do shapes you and prepares you for what's coming, that there is somewhat of a plan if you let yourself feel that plan and get into it. Now, there's a lot of resistance and fighting when you think that you know how to do everything. And in a new situation that you don't, there's a lot of learning. So in order to start over, reinvent in your 40s, you have to have a mind of, I'm here to learn. You know, I went through, right as I was coming of that chapter of my life, I went through a divorce, still had the dental practice, still had 2 practices, 2 kids, all the things. So I learned some internal stability that way, and that personal struggle was there, but it did open me up and allow me to be more adventurous and more of an explorer than I ever had. I mean, I was a kind of nerdy little good girl. I got straight A's. I knew what I wanted to be in 2nd grade. So I just kept going down that path. And once you realize that you can get back up after you fail, that it's not the end of the world if something happens that you didn't expect, like a divorce, that almost opens you up to go, okay, well, how bad could this be? I remember early in my dental career, I was going to build a location, another practice, and it was rolling right into 2008, which was ended up being a real downturn. And so my accountant had told me, well, what's the worst thing that happens? You could just declare bankruptcy. And I'm like, oh my gosh. What? I mean, that was like a form of death. But I think his point was, he's older than me, and he's like, it's not the end of the world. Well, it was for me. I didn't end up building that other location. It took me a while before I got into the 2nd practice, but it was a good learning experience. And I think that that's something that as you age and as you grow, you become a little bit more resilient to failures and maybe a little bit more accepting of them. And I'll tell you, I had to be in starting Lewie, because so many things I didn't understand, or I didn't fully comprehend, jumping onto Amazon. There's a team that helps with that. Well, they need photos, they need stock, and that's up. Oh, well, we did the first round of photos. Well, they weren't shot on the right background. So you have to go back in and do all the photos over again. Our first round of tooling, when we brought the lip balm and dental floss to market, it got stolen overseas. And then there was a whole, I didn't end up engaging in them. So my hope is in the coming year, I'll be bringing that product back out, but it's brand new tooling. I have to look at that and say, well, it's hard. Thank you. Now I get to redevelop that and truly make it a wonderful product. So you've got to try to sometimes find the glass half full, even though at the time it's like, are you kidding me? For anybody that's looking like, oh, I'm too old to start over, I can't do this. Well, no, there's just a plethora of people that I find those posts on Instagram that list all the people that started at 40, 50, before they were successful. So you're always able to do it. But I think the resiliency of age and you kind of let the water run off your back a bit more than maybe what I did anyways. Like as someone in my 20s and 30s, if something went wrong, it was versus now I'm like, all right, well, that person's probably having a bad day too. Let me think about how this could change. That's not good, but let's digest it for a minute. So I think that's one of the biggest things.